So then we got to April and we're looking at Holy Week going, oh dear Lord, this is going to be online. That was sort of a wild realization. It was a slow realization. Like, I think we were all denying it up until like the week of, is my memory.
Yeah, and we were getting clear calls from Joe Pendleton, our friend, who used to be at the Here There camp, saying that the camps needed more food, like urgently needed more food. And so kind of all these crazy ideas were floating around of like, how could we make that happen in the middle of all this? And I remember the week after Easter just kind of sitting with that and feeling like I don't know. Like, I don't know if we can. I don't know. And it was very shortly thereafter that with Nancy, Dawn, and Pat, and later Jeannie, we launched the whole Project Sandwich and delivered sandwich after sandwich after sandwich to the camps for months and months and months. And it was possible. But I just remember that feeling of that week, just not knowing, like, are we going to be able to do this at all?
I felt like that was another place where All Souls showed some real courage.
Yeah, I mean, we went forward. That was our choice. We decided to move forward and to do something. And it ended up being pretty freaking amazing.
I just remember at the end of the last service on Easter, the 11:15, like the final thing, I just remember crying.
Mm.
It was just like it was like so powerful and like just relief and sadness and some celebration, but just like I just remember being kind of overcome by it.
And what added to that feeling was that was the last Sunday that Trip Hudgens was with us, and so it was doubly hard to say goodbye to someone without being able to hug them, without being able to shake their hand, and so I think that Easter was it was heavy.
The Quarrels had just moved and they moved suddenly too. That was sort of the beginning of the like, we're moving suddenly thing that started then to happen throughout
That's
the
right.
year. But we also got the PPP loan in May.
That's right. Oh my goodness, right.
I think for children's ministry in like late April, early May, there was sort of this realization, I think, both for families that their kids were going to be at home with them for the rest of the school year. There was sort of this kind of, I think, weight that came onto us at that time that we were going to be at this longer. And so we tried to start reimagining things. And so we decided to have a kids book club. People just really jumped into this. The kids would arrive on Zoom with snacks and like cuddling into a good cozy spot in the house. And we got to read The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe by C.S. Lewis. We had the most amazing adult readers. We wrapped up at the end of August. And I think all of us, kids and adults, sort of felt a little sad when the last Wednesday came around because it had created this really amazing community.
So in going back, I realized that we started the Soulcast in April. We remember it was really sad. Things were not uplifting or encouraging. And Phil and I were sort of brainstorming ways that we could, I don't know, bring some levity, some playfulness. And so we decided to like, what if we just like did video announcements sort of every week that we could just maybe interview some people or something just be a little more playful, but also informative. And so we started the Soulcast. And I remember even like picking the music for it. I just used the music on my computer and it was the first song I picked and was like, oh, this is good. I like this. This feels right. This is like the right tone. So that kind of like, then it became the Soulcast. I looking back, I watched the first episode from April just to kind of think about like, what was the Soulcast? We were calling it the All Souls Cast for starters. Phil had shorter hair. I had fewer lines on my face that weren't as deep. So I watched the very first one and then I watched this last week's just side by side. And oh my gosh, Phil, we are tired apparently. Because this last one was like, I mean, like we're tired. But also it was like, yeah, we're tired.
I gotta say though, as a viewer of the Soulcast, it's fun. Like I can confirm that it's fun.
My favorite was when you did co-hosts in the summertime, Emily, particularly Margaret Sparks. Margaret was my favorite co-host.
It's just turned into like kind of a highlight in the week to get on and like think of something new.
So June, as I remember, was also the month that we were trying to empty out that parish house as fast as we possibly could.
Yeah, there was actually quite a bit of stuff in the parish house that had accumulated. I think from a number of sources, just in the nooks and crannies, but it was like a sufficient amount of furniture and such. We reached out to the community, and a crew of, I think that I'm trying to remember the name. I think they call themselves the Old Diggers.
Yep.
But it was Jill, Diane, and Renee got together, and the four of us kind of figured out, going through like, what can we donate, what can we sell potentially, and then eventually Tony was brought on board as well, and I think we made somewhere around, was it like $4,000 or $5,000?
I can't remember the number off the top of my head, but that went to Project Sandwich and then has continued to support the folks in the camps, which is amazing.